Welcome, everybody. I believe we are live. Let's check in. Twitch, we're up. We are live. Let's see, on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Twitch. See what's going on here on Kick. Welcome, Kick. And welcome, Facebook. Everybody, this is another live stream. You are watching the Sam Crescent Art Show. I am Sam Crescent, working on my comic book Strength Monsters, streaming it live every single day. Let's get this party started. Gonna warm up a little bit here. Let's do some Bridgman for the warm up. And specifically, we've been working on hands, and I'm gonna do this hand diagram today because I think it might be a good one. It might be helpful. Some useful information here. I have an animation timeline on my screen now. I'm still learning how to use the Clip Studio animation as I've been switching into Clip Studio, moving out of Adobe Photoshop, and I've learned that Clip Studio has a lot of flexibility and features for animation, but I don't know how to work the Clip Studio timeline and everything yet. So I'm going to be learning that all, figuring it out. For Bridgman study today, I'll pull up the reference here for you so you can see what I'm working on to warm up. We're going to be working this here, and specifically this diagram, anatomical diagram of the hand from the dorsal point of view, the looking down. I don't know if that's right, dorsal, whatever, plantar, whatever. I don't remember. So let's work on that. We'll move this down a little bit and get this thing going. So what we have here, the way I'm thinking about this is as a paddle, and you can see it kind of even gives you that shape there. So we're going to come here. That's terrible. I'll get this first here. There we go. The ulnar coming out there, something like that. Something like that's pretty close to the shape. Now I'll put in the various. Let's get the various anatomy put in. So we have this thumb coming out here like that, and then the pad of the thumb there comes in here, and he kind of does a muscle indication there. And if I go to Bridgman's book, he'll tell us we're on Bridgman's book. Let me see if he tells us what muscle this is. Come on, man. 4. Oh, of course, the abductor pollicis. We have the abductor pollicis, and 3 is the dorsal interosseous muscle. I think we went over that one before. This is really an irritating part of those documents, is the way they highlight everything when you accidentally clip them. So the dorsal, now this is the dorsal interosseous. That's the abductor pollicis. I believe there's an abductor pollicis longus and brevis, which means there's a short and long muscle that abducts the thumb. And that did say, I hate that blue feature, it said adductor pollicis. So that means what that muscle is going to do is, gosh damn, it's going to pull the thumb towards the hand. Okay. And then there's a tendon coming up here onto this finger. So we're looking at that. This kind of cuts in here more, because then we've got this tendon here. You never really would draw these, but if you know them, then when you can indicate tension when you're drawing a hand or a fist or something grabbing And I've got to get my knowledge of hands down much better. That's why we're doing it. Okay, so now let's see here. I don't want to get too caught in the weeds yet. Let's get where the fingers are. So we've got one there coming down. And we've got the middle finger here. Kind of has some knuckles coming out like that. And then he's got another finger here with a knuckle here and a knuckle there. And then he's got this small finger, pinky. The one that, never mind, I'm not going to make that joke. There, okay. All right, so we've got that. We got the basic schematic down. Now we've got this huge tendon here that goes into 3 areas. Let's see what that is again. Number 1 is the extensor communis digitorum. So digitorum means it goes to the fingers. Extensor means it's going to pull the fingers back. It's going to open the hand. Okay. So, and we can see that because it goes, come on, man. Where was we? It goes to 3 fingers, these 3. So let's just put it in as best we can. Here, here. Extensor communis digitorum. Oh, it's interesting because we have a tendon coming off to the side there. So kind of knowing that, that's going to help make things look a little better. He's got these little knuckle indications or something in here. And then we've got 6 coming out this way. We'll see what that one is. Extensor minimi digiti. Minimi. Minimi. It's minimi. Extensor minimi digiti. Minimi digiti. That was a terrible attempt at an accent. I apologize for that. And that one comes in here and goes down. So it creates this here, number 2, and there's a tendon coming off of that. And that one is, what is that? Adductor minimi digiti. What? 6. Extensor minimi digiti. Oh, we got the extensor. We got the abductor, the abductor. So this one pulls the pinky finger away from it. What's 5? Extensor carpi ulnaris. All right. Well, we got the main thing of it drawn right there. So let's do this one now, because this is an interesting one here. We've got this point of view there, but let's do this. Before we do that, actually, let's go to here. Make a new cell. What happened? I must have made a new folder. Now I made a new animation cell. Okay. But I'm in... What? Looks like I didn't even draw that in here. So let's put it in the folder. There we go. Ah. It's all messed up. Let's undo all this. Put this in the folder. Okay. Well, let's undo that. So we got to be that on frame 1. And then I can put that in the animation folder. Now I go to frame 2. I've got to set all this up better. Make a new animation cell. We can onion skin the old one there. And then let's figure out what we want to do here. Here's what we'll do. Let's just draw it again. There's a bunch of stuff we could do for this. But what we'll do for this one is... I could probably just duplicate that. But I don't know how yet. What I was thinking is we could make this thing pop out or color it, make it become a color, and then so like a highlight color. And we'll say the name of it. So this would be a simple animation that could be done to learn these different tendons and structures on the hand, that if we can internalize this knowledge, it's going to help us with our future drawings. I want to make sure I remember there's that. That might help me. Oops. All right, so we got that there. Now it's showing me that that's in the next frame. So let's see here. We'll just draw it again, since I don't know how to duplicate yet. So this one, the thumb. This was the adductor pollicis. I don't think it said brevis or longus, or even told me which, if it's a long muscle or short muscle. This was the abductor digiti minimi. Pulls the pinky finger away from the hand. This in here was the, I think it was the extensor carpi ulnaris, something like that. At least down there was. Trying to just memorize musculature. All right, so now let's turn off the onion skin. And then I've got to go.